Hello everybody, this is Rishidir and I'm back with my third and final video about learning JavaScript for beginners. In today's lesson we're going to be focusing on functions and scopes. So you may ask, what are functions and what are scopes? Well, functions take data or variables, perform a set of tasks on them, and then return them as a result. Simple enough, right? So to start today's lesson we're going to simulate the functions unit with the pizza store option. So what we're going to do is we're going to say function, we're going to have take order, because that's what people in pizza stores do, they take orders, and we're going to have two parentheses in a curly bracket. In the bottom, we're going to have the take order with two parentheses and a semicolon to end it off. In the middle, we're going to have our document.write, which is our output. So we're going to have that, and that's going to be set as order pizza. Now this function is very simple and particular because when you run it, you're going to get order pizza because that's the only thing. We don't have any parameters, right? So this function only has order pizzas, so that's how it's going to run like because it's a simple syntax. I mentioned parameter just a minute ago. Now we're going to get into parameters. So parameters, what do you think they are? Well, they're variables that we can set to call the function. So since we're in the pizza store example, we're going to have function take order, and what do people in pizza stores like? Toppings. So we're going to have one parameter called topping. So we're going to set that as a parameter, and in the bottom we're going to have a document.write and the same syntax as we had before. So we're going to have take order, and instead, since it's a topping, we're going to have something between the parentheses this time. So what food item? Let's do pineapple. So since we put pineapple, now we're going to have document.write. Our order is going to be pizza topped with a topping, plus topping, because we've already selected plus topping as pineapple. So it should say, when we do a document.write, it should say pizza topped with pineapple because we set topping as pineapple. So there you go. Order pizza topped with pineapple. We get what we want. Now we just had one parameter. What happens if we put two parameters? In this case, it's the exact same thing. Let me just comment off the code so it doesn't interrupt. Here. So we'll start off with function take order. We'll make it topping and cheese. Those are two parameters. So now we're going to have three food items. Well, we'll make one pineapple since we did in the other example. We'll get extra cheese as well. We'll do peppers, and we'll get extra cheese with that as well. And our final take order, we can have onions, and we'll have extra cheese with that too. So now what do you do, you may ask? Well, it's simple as forward. Simple as the last one. I'm just going to uncomment off the code, and then I'm going to run it. Now document.write is going to be order plus same. It's the exact same thing as the one previously, just with extra cheese in there. And now instead of one line of code that's going to output, we're going to have three sentences. So we're going to have order extra cheese with pineapple, topped with pineapple. That's going to be our first order. And then second one is going to be extra cheese topped with peppers. That's going to be your second one. And a final one is going to be extra cheese topped with onions, which is in the code, or which is already in the output above. Now, as you can see, this is a very simple way to get a definition to your code and also add and make simple JavaScript operations that you can use in real life. So now that we have that done, we need to get the subtotal, because you don't go to a place for free, you have to pay the price, right? For a pizza store, for example. So we're going to have a variable order count. We'll set that to 0. We'll have a function take order. We'll have toppings and and cheese. Those are two parameters. And then in the middle, we're going to have a document.write. And now you may ask, everything's the same except we have order count equals order count plus 1. So what does that mean? Our order count is 0 initially, and then we have a plus 1 each time because every time a store starts, it sells 0, and then it keeps selling as the day progresses. So now we have our function get subtotal item count, and then we have a return instead of a document.write. So we're going to be returning item count plus times the price. What's the price, you may ask? Well, we'll just set it to anything. Imagine everything in the store is the same. So we'll make it 10.25 for this example. So we have the exact same thing as before that we did in the previous example. Take order, pineapple, extra cheese, peppers, and everything. And in the bottom, we're going to have another document.write, and we're going to have the get subtotal or order count. Because we have two functions at this point, and we have one console log thing. And this way, we're able to get the exact same thing as before, but now we have a number at the end. It's 30.75. So that 30.75 represents the price of these three pizzas. The price of pineapple pizza, pepper pizza, and onion pizza. Since we said the toppings and everything is the same price. Moving on, let's do scopes now. So what are scopes, you may ask? Scopes refer to where in a program a variable can be accessed. To start off, we'll do an example like we did previous time. So we'll make a variable laundry room, we'll set that to basement. We'll make another variable mail room, and we'll set that to room 1A. Then we'll have our document.write, which is output, and we'll make a laundry, and then we'll have a plus laundry room, which is a variable. Then we'll have mail, and then we'll have plus mail room. So the same syntax I just have. When we run the code, we get output of laundry basement, mail room, room 1A. This is very simple because it's a simple operation that we've learned before, and we're just following it. But this is where it gets interesting, because scopes may sound hard, but it's actually not. There are two types of scopes: functional scopes and global scopes. Okay, so we'll start with both, and we'll just give you examples of how they are and what they do. So we'll have the same thing as before, and now we're going to have var apartment. So variable my apartment, and then we're going to set that as a function. Now this is different. We have the exact same thing before, but we have an extra function in there. Then we're going to have two parentheses and one curly brace bracket. So now we're going to have a var mailbox number. This is going to be our variable inside the function. So it's going to be box 3. Then before we had laundry room equals basement. Now all we're doing is saying laundry room is in unit, because a lot of people in their house, they have an in unit laundry room. So now we're going to have our document.write, which is our output, and that'll be mailbox plus mailbox number plus laundry room. Simple as before. Then we'll have my apartment, parentheses, and a semicolon to end it off. So now, what do you think is going to happen when we run the code? When we run the code, it should say the same thing like it did before: mailbox, box 3, and laundry in unit. That's very simple. Very simple. So now we're going to have document.write mailbox number. Now, if we remove that, what do you think is going to happen? Well, the code is not going to run. The reason that the code doesn't run in this case is because we're asking for a function to pull out something that is inside. So when functions have variables in them, outside variables will have access to this. This is what's called functional scopes. Functional scopes. Global scopes, on the other hand, all the variables in a specific code, everyone has the opportunity to take it, but in this case, they don't. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my final lesson for JavaScript. I hope you really liked this series, and I hope you really understood and learned JavaScript. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.